welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be reviewing the Spartan Collection Halo Reach George 052 figure made by Wicked Cool Toys. And if you haven't already, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll get right into the review. First, we're going to go ahead and look at the box of this figure as we always do. If you've been collecting this line, this figure is no different from, as far as the box goes, from the other ones. I will tell you that the gun for this figure is stored in the back, a little bit more plastic than the other ones because it is a bigger figure. So they had to make do with the space that they had. But as you can see, Spartan Collection on the left side, up here on the top, George 052 with accessories that we'll be going into. At the bottom here, Halo, 8 pieces. And then on the back side here, you get the kind of write-up. George 052 comes with the M24-7H heavy machine gun from the video game, the backpack, which I assume is like an ammo cache for him for the gun. I don't think they ever explained it. You'd probably have to go into the lore, and additional hands. The other figures in Series 5 are the OG Master Chief, which I do have, Kelly 087, as well as the Spartan Rogue. So I bought this one and this one. I am still waiting on Kelly. I did find her, but I'm still on the fence on if I want her. So I haven't been collecting every single figure from this line. A lot of them are excellent, but I might hold off for that one for now. Bottom of the box, nothing really. And then top, it just says UNSC. Side, nice shot of George. Originally, people saw this art and didn't think it was going to be a chrome visor, but I am happy to say it is indeed a chrome visor. And then the side, we can see the hands that it'll come with, as well as a UNSC inscription right in the plastic. Let's go ahead and crack this bad boy open, all right? Quick, before we go ahead and look at the entirety of the figures and the accessories, I just wanted to show you, so one thing that's different about this figure is that they have a second piece of plastic that houses the gun and the backpack in the back of the box, right behind the hands here. So it is a bigger figure, bigger gun, so they needed to kind of figure out what to do with that space. So just an FYI. All right, and there you have it, guys. That is the Jazwares / Wicked Cool Toys George Spartan Collection Halo Reach figure. That is a lot to say. He's probably going to stop spinning at this point. This is the first time I've had this issue. The figure is so heavy that it's pressing down on the actual, he's still going, on the rotating base. But if you want my quick review, excellent figure. Honestly, this is probably the best Jazwares figure that has come out in the Spartan Collection, hands down. The one that was holding the title before this, I think it was the Samurai, the Uroi, but this George figure is excellent. I'm going to go into the joints, I'm going to talk about the paint, I'm going to talk about the pros and the cons, and so maybe it'll help you decide whether you want to pick this figure up. I can tell you right now, it is if you're a Halo collector, definitely this is like a must-have in my opinion. For like 25 bucks, this figure is well worth it. We're gonna first talk about just the figure itself, the George 052 Halo figure. Obviously this is a guy from Halo Reach. If you're a Halo fan, you've played that video game, and this is indistinguishably that figure. It's excellent, man. I think this is, again, the best that Jazwares / Wicked Cool Toys has offered up in the Spartan Collection. He is a beefier figure. You can see on the chest here, a little bit bigger than the other Spartans that you'll see. Bulkier shoulder pads as well as in the game. He is like the big gun of Noble Team, so that makes sense. One thing they didn't scrap was the chrome visor as well. One thing you'll see on the, let's see if I can find it. Yep, one thing you'll see on the box is it looks like it's not going to be a chrome visor, and I know there was a lot of uproar from fans. Even the other figures in the line, they don't look like you're going to have chrome. I can tell you both of these do, as well as the Chief that is pictured in the chrome. George has the best visor that we've gotten so far. A nice like orange, like a amber orange kind of color. It looks perfect, and it looks exactly like the game. So loving that. Nice attachment on the helmet. Good proportions. This figure doesn't look like wonky or like one size is, or some of the plates are bigger than the other ones. One thing I will note with the legs, you do get a little bit of a gap here in the front thigh area, in the groin area. It is kind of more noticeable on this figure, I think, just because he's bigger. So all the armor plates are a little bit bigger, so you get that kind of joint gap that's more prominent, just because this is probably bigger than the other figures as well. Let's see, what else do we got going on? I love the way the armor looks on the legs. These giant knee pads look great, shin pads. The armor itself is perfect. I mean, Look how big those calves are, man. That's awesome. And we'll go ahead and get into the joints. I know you guys want to know about that. You do get a little bit of the Jazwares, like their copyright print and everything like that, made in China. I think they could have put that somewhere else. A lot of people have been customizing this figure, so you'll probably just paint over it. For the people who don't, I mean, they could have easily just put that down here, call it a day, right? So I don't know why they keep deciding to do it there. Maybe it has to be like completely legible or whatever it is, but that's that. You got these 2 pegs in the back for the backpack. You can see like the spine area here. One thing that did happen when I opened up the figure was, boom, it's these Jazwares figures, they're easy to pop off. Nothing breaks here, you just pop it right back on. But for whatever reason they are, there you go, they are a little bit easier to kind of disassemble in that way. So you got the little decals here, the little details. I thought this was supposed to be gray, but I checked the picture, it's not. I'd have to double check the actual video game to see if that's supposed to be gray or not. A little bit of silver dry brushing that they added in. Let's see if you can go ahead and see that. There's some silver here. It's very subtly here as well. You can kind of see it because of the shine of my light, but nice little details here and there. The paint job is good. It's decent. Like, I don't think that anything here is just like, this base figure by itself, it would look good on a shelf. I don't think it needs to have that many modifications or anything like that. I have seen people customizing it to a great extent, and they look good. And I think I'm going to as well add some weathering. He is a little bit clean for a Halo Reach figure. I mean, let's be honest, that game was pretty dark. Everybody dies, spoiler alert. Came out like 10 years ago, so no spoiler alert. But definitely a good base to customize if you do want to. Got the little collar pad right here as well. Got the other shoulder, some gray brush or silver dry brushing here. So overall, good detail, good amount of sculpt, good. Like you can even see, they got down to the bolts right onto here as well. So as far as detail goes, it's solid. One thing that these Jazwares figures have been doing well is it makes it feel like there's an actual person in there. Yeah, I get it, this joint here and this joint here, maybe it's a gap. Okay, sure, whatever. There you go, now it's not. But they really make it feel like there's somebody in there. I think that has to do with the chrome visor. You can't see through it or anything like that. And it's just reflective. It kind of blasts out into the real world, if that makes sense. And what I mean by that is like it kind of makes it feel like it's like in the real world because you can see reflections and stuff on it. So more like it's more immersive, if that makes sense. So all the armor details are there, definitely. Let's see, you got these side pads here. They've been doing with the other figures. You flip it around, boom, and you put a sidearm there. With George, he doesn't come with any sidearms because in the game he doesn't use any sidearms, to my knowledge. I just remember him using the big gun, so if I'm wrong, go ahead and talk crap in the comments, please. And you have one on this side as well, so everything's there. So let's go ahead and talk about the joints. So apart from the nice paint and the nice detail, let's talk about the joints. These are the same joints that we've kind of been having recently. So you have like before I start, I just want to say, excuse me if I don't get the exact joint name right, but I will demonstrate how they work. So you have like a ball peg here, goes up. Because his shoulders are so big, it's not going to go up that much. That's kind of the extent that he can go. Well, there you go. This one can go up a little bit higher than I had it. Also, you have like a hinge right here. I don't know if that's a hinge, I'm sorry. Horrible toy review. I'm gonna look them up for the next review, I promise, what each one should be named. Let's zoom in for that. A little bit of an elbow hinge, as I will say. So that's fine. I don't think he needs, like, this is good enough right here to hold the gun. Sorry guys, getting into non-focus mode, because he can actually kind of cross here, because there's a swivel right here, bicep swivel, as they would say. Hey. So you can hold the gun like that, the back part here, the front part here, and then have them kind of turned off. It's a good pose to have them in. It's like the more basic one, and I'll show you guys how to do that at the end of the video. So 2 ball peg joints for the shoulders. He does have a little bit of ab movement. It's not like a full-on crunch, but as soon as you do it that far, it's over. So, and there you go, that far. So I wouldn't even say he really has an ab crunch. It's gonna pop off right away, which is fine. This guy is more of a heavy guy. He's not gonna be doing a lot of ab bending, if you will. Here, let me focus in, sorry guys. A little bit of a swivel on the thigh. There we go, both sides, boom, boom. You have the hinge here for the hands. Now this part right here, the back of the hand, it doesn't hinge as much as the other one. It kind of bumps into the gauntlets that he has. His gauntlets are definitely bigger than the other guys, so, which is, again, it's fine. He doesn't need to have this crazy amount of range or anything like that. And we'll go into what accessories he comes with as well. So there's that, same thing here. Oh, by the way, the head. He can look up about this far, not too crazy. That's fairly decent for the size of the figure. And then further down, let's see. He can look down a fair amount, which is excellent. So I'm pretty happy with that. There's you go. There's the ball peg right there. So it's a good one. I don't think here. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm just gonna pause it and take off the helmet, see what it looks like. There you have it. That's the ball peg that he comes with. Unfortunately, he does not come with a head sculpt. I really thought they would have added it, but it is what it is. I mean, this figure looks good without it, but it would have been a perfect addition. That's the only thing as far as accessories go that would have been perfect to, well, a couple of things that would have been, but I'll get into that when we look at the other accessories that he does come with. Again, visor looking excellent. As far as the legs go, look at that. I don't even need to say anything. The knees have been an issue in the Spartan collection, but come on, guys, that looks good. They may not look as nice as the old ones did, but man, that to me, that's one hell of a range for the knees. Yes, you do get exposure there, but it's not that crazy. Again, this guy is going to be a heavy infantry guy. He's going to be sitting not sitting, but like he's going to be standby most of the time. He's not going to be doing backflips and shit like that. Excuse me. I want to show you how they look from the back. They did a good job of masking it. And what I mean by that is this is a part of the joint. It's green. This is the leg. It's black or gray. This is green and this is green, this is green. They did a good job of masking it. Whereas they could have had it separate like this, but they didn't. So you don't really see as much of the joint as exposed. One part of the body that I did forget to mention is he does come with this little, let's see if I can get it out. Sorry. A little back peg. Here, it's right here. That fits in here. He doesn't really carry any sidearms or anything like that. He's just the big gun guy for them. And then you have the little rock for the ankle rocker. Boom, boom, both sides. And then you just have the regular hinge there. Oh, can't forget, staple of the Spartan collection. Boom, toe joints. You don't know you need toe joints until you have a figure that has them. Then you're like, I need toe joints. Those are awesome. All right, guys, next thing I want to talk about is go ahead and talk about the accessories that this guy came with. First thing that we're going to go ahead and talk about is his backpack. I don't know if they ever tell you what's in this backpack, but to my knowledge, or what I always assumed rather, was that it just came with bullets, ammunitions for the giant gun that I'm about to show you that George carries, okay? So these are the two little pegs that peg into his back, and I'll show you where those peg into. Very easy. You kind of come at it at like a bottom up angle. So there we go. And they just kind of peg in. Not as, I mean, they're kind of loose here and there, but it's not really going to pop off if you have them standing on a shelf. Let's put that over there. So getting back to the backpack, good amount of paint, good amount of decals, everything like that. Only thing that I would add to it is some weathering, but a good amount of detail, man. Look at all of that. You got all the bolts, everything like that, the little rivets inside, all of that. And it's dipped in too. It's like, it's not just like some sticker that they put in there. It's all sculpted in there. So excellent amount of detail, especially for a $25 price point, man. That's nuts. The side part here, canisters, whatever they may be, and it just pegs onto his back. It looks excellent, I can tell you. I'll have a picture at the end of everything on there, but overall it looks good. Happy with the paint, happy with the detail. I'll probably go in and do some weathering, but that's about it. It's a good accessory. It's solid. Okay, I'm probably the most important accessory for George. This is the staple. This is what makes George is this giant gun that he carries. It's essentially just a turret, like a Gatling gun type of thing, and that is his standard weapon. I don't remember seeing him use anything else in the game rather, which is it's badass. Comes with the ammo cart right here, so he puts his bullets in there, but you never see it happen. But it's Halo, guys. Everybody relax, okay? Infinite ammo, as Solid Snake would say. Overall, this is a great piece, man. It's a perfect size. It's compared to him, let's see, it comes up to about his elbow, essentially. It's a great size. It definitely is menacing. It's made out of like a hard rubber, so that's perfect too. It's not gonna like shatter if you drop it or anything like that. It's not gonna, if you're trying to kind of bend it to pose the figure and stuff like that, bend his arms around, all that, it's not gonna like break because it's not hard. It's not a plastic, it's like a hard rubber, and it's excellent. And the amount of paint is good too. I can definitely say that this paint is cool. I think that this would have been cool if it was like silver, but as far, I don't know if that's game accurate or not, but I think it would have made it look more of like truly like a worn weapon. But again, these are things that you can add to your own figure. As far as like a base figure, this is an excellent accessory. It's got the handle here for the front arm, and then the handle here for the back arm, for the hands rather. So this little peg indicates that it's on the bottom. Obviously you have the ammo cache right here, so there you have it. Mine has a little bit of a bent nozzle, but that's fine, that can be changed, not a big deal. Manipulated to be straightened out. So overall, excellent shape, excellent sculpt, excellent detail, excellent size, good amount of paint for what you're getting. They could have, one thing that's Jazwares been notorious for, unfortunately, is like the guns, like they'll just have like a couple of the guns just come gray. So you have to add your own detail if you want it to pop a little bit more and look more realistic. But I think for this one, they did a good job. They did what I mean, it's definitely good enough for sure, even if you don't mod it. But that is George's gun. Okay, last but not least, let's talk about the hands. So he comes with 2 pointer fingers, left and right, to call out orders or whatever it may be. These are kind of standard. These have been coming with a lot of the Jazwares figures. They look good. Paint's good. No issues there. There's not a lot too much to talk about there. The 2 fingers, it's kind of like similar, but it's more of like a it's similar. I don't even know what to say. Like, it's kind of like a check over there kind of hand instead of like the go over there hand, right? Again, good amount of detail. You can see there in the fingers and everything like that. It kind of looks like bones. Pretty cool. But it's got all the padding sculpted in, which is excellent. Good paint, like an olive drab as the rest of the figure. Got the little hinges there, and yeah, these are good. And last but not least, we have the hold, or you could say punching. The hands do kind of look small, but I can tell you in comparison to him, they're actually decent. But this is like him just saying hold as a commander would or whatever. And then another pointer finger. Why did yeah. Sorry, I might have just thrown that in there. Anyways, yeah, so that's the last one we're going to talk about. So that is the last of the accessories. Let's take a last look at the figure. So there is the hand, the fist hand that he has on his right. Just to show you, it's not, here, let's zoom in. It's not like super duper small or anything like that. It looks fine. I would say it looks fine, just for those of you wondering. The pointer fingers are totally fine as well. So let's get some shots in.